All right, hello everybody. Let me know if everything is going good. For some reason, on my end, I'm seeing waiting for Rocky Rourke, and I'm not quite sure why that is. So let me know if you guys can hear me okay, if everything is looking good, sounding good, and hopefully we have a good stream today. I don't know what's going on, why it's showing that on my end, but hopefully everything is sounding good, looking good, and everything like that for you guys. So please let me know if everything is working with the stream, or if there is any difficulties. Let me know in chat. I'm really excited about today's stream. As you guys know, I've been working in the background on coming up with some plans for our one-on-ones, or one of ones, not one-on-ones, one of ones. And I'm really excited to be sharing that with everybody. One moment, having a little bit of technical difficulties with some things. But how's everybody doing today? And I don't think anybody can hear me. Hmm. Okay, all right, good. So you can hear me. That's good. Yeah, for some reason on my end, when I'm trying to watch this on YouTube just to make sure that everything is looking good, it's showing that it's waiting for me to be on here. So thank you guys so much for clarifying and let me know that you guys can hear me okay. How's everybody doing? It looks like we have Gravwater, we have Iskander, we have Chupacabra. Thank you guys so much for jumping in here and for being a part of another amazing live stream, or at least what I hope to be another amazing live stream. I'm excited to just be doing another one of these. I know that a couple of people messaged me through DMs on Monday. I was planning on doing a live stream, but unfortunately, there were some issues that happened. I had to jump on a bunch of projects for work, and unfortunately, I was not able to stick to the schedule. I'll try in the future to be more communicative with that with everyone and let you guys know if I'm not going to be able to make a stream. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It looks like we got 9 people watching. That's amazing. Let's see. Hello, Andrew. Thank you so much for tuning in. Um, but yeah, so let me also, just as I've always said throughout all of these different live streams, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask them in the chat. I'll try to answer them as best that I can, and I'll try to take time to focus on specific questions. But also, I want to let you guys know that we are going to have another island cruise list update today, where we will be offering, or will be giving a specific phrase. All you guys have to do in order to get put onto the island's cruise list is to go through and respond, or sorry, not respond, send me a DM over Twitter at Mutant Island with the secret phrase, and I will add you to the island cruise list, which is our whitelist. So that will be shared at the end of this stream. I'll say it a couple times, and we'll try to get it in the chat. Someone can share it in the chat here. Just don't share it across social media. This is specifically for those of you who attend the entire live stream, and you guys are able to, be rewarded for that. Um, to go ahead and talk real quick. I know that some of the number one questions that pop up quite a bit. I'll go ahead and address those right now. Discord is coming. I'm going to see if we can't do the Discord next week. That would be my hope, is to start the Discord next week. If not next week, it'll be once we hit 500 followers on Twitter. Um, Website is, we're actually meeting sometime this week or this weekend to talk about the website. And I am going to be working on a white paper for the project to kind of give you guys an idea of everything that we're trying to do with it, some backstory into like the storyline and things like that, beyond just like the ramblings of me with these live streams. Let's see. Chupacabra says that this is art class today for my kids. That is awesome. I'm really excited to hear that. I'm going to be drawing, so hopefully what I draw you guys will like. I actually worked on a sketch, or actually a series of sketches for one-on-one ideas. And one of those sketches is what we're going to be using today to create our first one-of-one mutant. And it's actually based on something that you guys shared on the last stream.
Sorry, could you say that again?
And Siri has to interrupt things. Yay! So it's going to be based on something that you guys mentioned last week, and I thought was a very good idea, and I felt like it was a very good topic for this week's one of ones. I have two sketches. I'm going to share both of them with you on the iPad. One is going to be for today, and the other is going to be for Friday. So we're going to be working on these live on the streams. I doubt we're going to be able to finish them up just like we started last week. Probably it's going to be just getting the line work done, and then you guys will see the final piece once it comes closer to mint. So you guys will be able to see a good sneak peek into the process, but we won't be able to go fully into it just because it will probably take a couple of hours fully to illustrate these. And I am very crammed on time today. I have to jump off just before 2 p.m. My time, so we're gonna try and get as much stuff done as possible. So yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about sharing the one-on-one process, and I also have another mutant to share with you guys. I try to every single day before a live stream, I go through and I put together a new mutant for you guys to take a look at and just to see the diversity of the different attributes and things like that. This mutant is actually the first dark mutant that I'm going to be sharing. So stick around for that. You won't want to miss it. But yeah, again, ask questions, keep the dialogue going. Otherwise, it's just me talking to myself, and that is sometimes very boring. So please, by all means, feel free to ask away any and all questions that you have. And I would say, let's jump into the iPad and start working on this. And I'm going to see if you guys can instantly kind of guess who this character is based on and what television show this character is from. And it'll be interesting to see if people get it right away or if they have to think on it. So let's jump over to the iPad. And there it is. There is the sketch. This is the first one of one based on like pop culture that I've done for this series. And I'm curious if you guys know who this is. If you guys can guess who it is, then I will show you the other sketch that we're going to be working on Friday. So let's see, Chupacabra Discord after Dronies Mint. You know, we can definitely. I think it's 100% doable. I think, and that way, it gives everybody the time to get their dronies and then to move into our Discord, hopefully. Chupacabra with the answer, and yes, it is. It is Gilligan's Island. This is the skipper, or this is based on the skipper. Can't really call it that when we actually go live. We're gonna be changing up some things here and there, and because you caught that, let me actually jump out of here, and we're gonna show you the other one I did for this, which is Gilligan. So here is the Gilligan mutant, and we have the skipper mutant. So Gilligan is going to be Friday. You guys definitely won't want to miss that. Please share that we're going to be doing a cool pop culture one of one on Friday, and hopefully we'll get some more people in the stream. But without further ado, let's jump in and start working on the skipper here. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. I'm going to make sure that all my strokes are good. So let's see. Everything's flowing pretty good. Smoothing is good. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Yo, dope. Catching, you make art, man. Thank you so much, Casey, for jumping in there. Again, let me know, guys, if you have any questions or if you guys just want to have a discussion on anything as well. I know that a lot of people are probably kind of stressed a little bit about what's been going on in crypto with the crash last week. I feel like it's starting to rebound a bit now, which is good. And hopefully you guys were able to fill up your war chest for the Dronies launch next week. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to start working on the actual head shape of this. So with these one-on-ones, I decided that they're not always going to follow the same head shapes or follow the same body types as the regular mutants will. And that allows us for a lot of these guys to change things up a bit and create some really cool mutants. So These won't be exactly the same, but they are going to be sharing quite a bit. Let's see. Chupacabra, love it. Iskander, you are talented, my friend. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Let's see. All right. So we got the head. Let's start working on some of the other elements here. So let's go ahead. We're going to add some little boils to the outside. This is actually based on a attribute that you guys haven't seen yet. I don't think you guys have seen this attribute. So we're just adding some little boils here and there around the chin. It's not the exact same thing, but it's close to give me a little bit of inspiration. We're going to create a new layer, and we're going to work on this little like chin beard type thing that he has there. The skipper doesn't have a beard, but I like to add a little bit of elements there. Gravwater, got to make some phone calls. Hope to hop back in before it's over. Thank you so much, Gravwater, for jumping in. This is Skinny Skipper. Yeah, I didn't want to make him too big. I did want to, like, actually, if you look at the sketch here, these lines on the inside right here, these are where the mutants normally are. So I did add a little bit of heft to him. Maybe might add a little bit more, but I didn't want to make him too big, especially since with I feel like Gilligan's Island. The skipper wouldn't have been a big guy the entire time that they were on the island. So, kind of being a little bit judgmental on my end, at least. All right, so let's get this little chin beard here. And we'll have to see if this works. Once we're gonna duplicate this the head shape outline first. I like to do that because you never know if you're going to make a mistake and you need to go back and redo something. So some of these things that really need to be updated, I will sometimes copy them so that we don't miss out on things. So I already see there's an issue with this, so I'm actually going to clear this. The issue was, let me undo so you guys can see, that these lines right here weren't on the left right here, weren't joining up correctly. And so I want to fix that a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and clear this layer. He hasn't eaten enough Hot Pockets. Yes, that is correct. Good call out from Dr. Mewton's Twitter account from last night. I'm going to start sharing a lot more little fun little tweets through his account to kind of like go with the storyline a bit. And once we get that white paper out, I don't know when that's going to come out, if it's going to be this week or next week. But once we get that out, we'll probably have a lot more tweets that are storyline related coming out from his account. So if you guys aren't following Dr. Mewton, if somebody could share in the chat his Twitter account at Dr. Mewton, I think it's Dr_Mewton, Mewton. Definitely, if somebody could share that, that'd be great. All right, and now we got the face. Let's see. Let's actually go ahead and add this is his like hair / ears. That's what I'm considering this. We'll say it's like his hair a bit. So he actually doesn't have any hair or any ears. And it's okay if these things aren't exactly like the sketch. Sketches are only just a recommendation of what the final will look like. It's not the end all be all. And I think that's something that a lot of young artists struggle with, is they think that the sketches have to be, or the final piece has to be exactly like the sketch. Even with client work, that's not the case. So just moving this around, fixing it. There we go. That feels good. All right, so we got that. Add another layer, and we'll go ahead and combine these into a group. And I like to do everything on separate layers in case I want to fix anything later on. So let's go ahead and do his mouth. There we go. That worked pretty good for the first go. But I'm going to go ahead and create another layer to do the rest of it. Let's undo that because I think I want the tapered part there. Yeah. There we go. That's pretty good. This is going to be a Scanners, so red eyes, please. Um, we'll see. We'll see if you end up if who ends up getting this one. This is the first one-on-one or one. Sorry, I keep wanting to say one-on-one. The first one of one mutant. So it'll be exciting to see who ends up getting this in the end. Because remember, you don't get to choose which ones you get. The minting process makes it completely randomized. I will say this though, I am excited for the mint for drones. I'm planning on getting 3 of them, and I'm hoping I get some sort of one-on-one. Here I go again. One-on-one. One of one. That'd be pretty fun. All right. So we got some little details added in there. We'll go ahead and combine these and add them to the group. And now let's go for the eyes. Not bad. By the way, those of you who were able to last night join us on Twitter Spaces, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. It was the first Twitter Space that we had, or excuse me, the second true Twitter Space. Let's put it that way. All right, he's looking pretty good. That's a very happy mutant. But you know what? With the skipper, the thing that really makes him who he is his hat and his polo. Once you see those two things together, especially once they're made blue and black, that's exactly how you identify him as the skipper. So let's bring these eyes in. And we're going to jump in here because we're going to have to do a little edit to the head once we make this cap. So we're going to first go and create the bill. And then we're going to create, whoops, I need to zoom out a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't know what else I'm going to mint. Probably going to have to put a hold on mints until after Mutant Island launches, just because I don't have enough soul to do many mints. So, but I have heard of that one. I heard it could be a very good one. All right, let's actually undo this. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to lower the opacity on the head shape. That way I can see these elements, and that way we can make sure that everything works right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start first with the little braid element, or the little cord. And for those of you who don't know this, here's a little random fact. Whenever you look at any type of like military or ocean skipper hats, the whole purpose of this cord that you usually see is so that they can put it around their chin and keep their hat on during some sort of like crazy weather squall or something like that. Let's see. Best way to keep up with what you're working on. I just barely caught this in the corner of my eye scrolling through YouTube, but I'd love to hang around more. Your line quality is juicy. Thank you so much. Yeah, so you can definitely make sure to turn on notifications. I'm going to be doing live streams generally Monday, Wednesday, Friday for this project. And if you want to follow this project, it's at Mutant Island on Twitter. And so going to be sharing a lot more updates on Twitter probably than on Instagram, but I will be sharing updates there as well. So thank you so much, by the way, Casey, for jumping in here. Okay, so let's get this. I've actually only going back to Jesper's question. So far on Solana, I've only minted one other project. Actually, no, I not minted. I bought it after the fact, and I can't remember the name of it, but I bought at 2 Solana a piece, and now the project's at 0.08 because it was just one of uh, those projects that just they created it, they did it just for the money purposes, and then they just abandoned it, and it just like tanked completely. Which is very sad to say that that happens quite a bit. But the one good thing is you guys don't have to worry about that with this project. I've invested so much time and energy, and I'm really excited to finally see something that I've been thinking about for years come to life. Underhand 10. Hey, buddy, I finally made it to a live YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in from Switzerland. How's everything going out there? It's pretty late, I believe, right? For you guys. It's like, what, 7, 8 hours difference? Or is it more? You know, I'm going to undo that because I want to redo this cap shape. So, I think it was okay the first time. Let's go and erase some of these little pieces here. I actually had to invest in a new iPad when it came time for to really do this project because my old iPad, which I still have, it couldn't hold up to the strain of this project. All of the different things it kept freezing out and crashing in Adobe Fresco. Let's see. Yeah, it is sad when things like that happen, but no, I'm excited for Dronies, and I know that everything that Peter and the team are going into on it, that is going to be a great project. Wow, it's 7:20 over there. Whew. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's not too bad. It's not too horrible, but still, I know that you probably could do other stuff, so I appreciate you coming in here and joining the stream. Let's redo this. We're going to do little tridents. All right, now we can erase. There we go. Instead of it being little anchors, it's little tridents. Sure, yeah, go ahead. You can share the live stream on Twitter. That's no problem. The only thing that I ask is just don't share the code word for the island cruise list. All right, that looks good. So let's go ahead and bump up the opacity here so we can see, or actually no, let's keep it low and go ahead and erase that. We already have a copy of this, so if we mess up, we can always get back this head shape. One thing I loved about this was the fact that this whole project is done pretty much in Adobe Fresco, except for the color. The color's done in Adobe Illustrator, which I don't think that there's many projects out there doing this in Adobe Fresco. So that's cool. All right, so now we got the head shape done, or all the head here done. Now it's going to be the body. And luckily the body for this one is relatively easy. So we're going to go ahead and group some of these things together. So that way it's easy to see everything. So we got the hat there. We've got the face. Let's see. There we go. So now let's go ahead and do the body. Start with the neck. Whoops. Got to remember to switch it back to the black. Let's see. I wish I had this spur of the moment creativity. Oh, trust me, it is. Oh, excuse me. My sinuses started messing up. it is something that can be actually. Let me jump back over to full screen real quick for a second. Ooh, you guys got a quick glimpse of that. So for me, creativity, unfortunately, isn't something that you can easily turn on and off. Trust me, it's not easy to do that. There's plenty of times where I can be creative in the moment, and I can force myself to be creative, but then after the fact, I usually am not that creative. I have certain times of the day where I'm very creative. So, like for instance, right now it's just after 1 p.m. my time. Well, from 1 p.m. all the way to 4 p.m., though that's like my window, or we'll say five. From 1 to 5 is like my window to be actually pretty creative. Not very creative in the mornings, and I can be somewhat creative at night. And so that's why this time slot is actually perfect because it's right there at the start of my creativity, at least what I go through. Let's see. I'm using Affinity. You know that. I do know Affinity. I've never used it. It's one of those things. I'm an Adobe fanboy. You can see, you can see back there. My dog is actually resting his head on Adobe pillows. Huge Adobe fanboy. I've done work for Adobe. I've been to Adobe Max. I've been to their headquarters, and I just have no reason to use any other software. I don't even use Procreate. I use strictly Adobe Fresco and all of the Adobe apps. But all the power to everyone that for what they use. Fresco's just been the best one for me. What's the difference, and why don't they use that software? Um, I'm trying to guess what you mean here with that. So the difference is mainly, I think Affinity is Affinity free, or is it $99 for a year or something like that? Adobe, I've been using Adobe now 18, 19 years, something like that. It's been many, many years since I've been using Adobe. And so using Adobe is just something that there's no question in my mind. I love the quality of the stuff. I love, how well I know the software completely. I use Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign. I use Premiere. I use After Effects. And of course, here I'm using Adobe Fresco. So for me, it's something I've always used. I'm most creative at night when everyone is asleep. I can be creative in the evenings. In fact, that's when I do a lot of my freelance work and when I'm working on Mutant Island. But it definitely is sometimes a little stressful trying to be creative all the time. I was alluding to using Adobe Fresco. It really comes down to now I know what you mean. You mean why other people doing NFT projects aren't using it. It comes down to what it is that you are looking to do. And so for me, my style, Adobe Fresco works perfectly for that, and that's the main reason why I'm using it. Um, oh yeah, and a lot of people are probably using Photoshop or Adobe Photoshop on the iPad, and some people are using Procreate to create their projects as well. How about a starfish mutant? I actually like that idea. I think that might be a good idea for something in the future. It actually would be possibly cool to try and do in the actual series. So we'll see about that. Good suggestion, Underhand 10. Okay. I don't know why all of a sudden my sinuses started draining. Let's see. So we're going to start with the neck. And notice, like, I don't care about overlapping stuff because it's on its own layer, so I can easily remove it later. And of course, you know, Gilligan's Island's from what, the 60s, 70s? And so they loved their bacon collars back then. Actually, saying that, let's do this. Let's make his collar a little bit wavy on one side. I like that. That adds a little bit of flair to it. Oops. All right. So now since we have the neck here, let's go ahead and clean it up. perfect. And now we can go ahead and work on his shirt. Or actually, let's just for the heck of it, or no, we'll work on the shirt. That'll work. Let's see. Question: is Adobe Fresco only used for portrait drawing like you're doing right now? No, you can use it for a lot of different things. I know quite a few uh, people who do concept art for video games, for children's books, for a lot of different things. Fresco is both vector and raster. So you can see here, I'm using the vector with these lines, but then the sketch here was done raster, meaning like pixel based. And so a lot of people use Adobe Fresco even to paint, digitally paint. So there's a lot of different ways that you can potentially use it. Are you currently working in-house? Curious if you see NFTs allowing you to have more creative freedom. Thoughts on leaving your 9 to 5 to make art? Currently, I am working in-house. I made the jump from being a full-time freelancer back in June of last year, just as we moved into our moved cross country into our new home. I do see that NFTs as being a way for creative freedom, for allowing people to actually get paid for their artwork a fair, more than fair amount. Do I plan on leaving my job after the project's complete? I don't know yet. I feel like I'll probably still be working my regular 9 to 5 job for at least a while. And because I love the people that I'm working with, I love the company that I work at. And so I'll probably still be there for a good while. And Mutant Island will be what takes up all my extra free time, so to speak. And I probably won't be doing freelancing nearly as much after the project. Hope that answers your question. Keep them coming, by the way. Great questions, everybody. Oh, I didn't do the sleep part there. Okay, perfect. Okay. Let's see. I know Chupacabra was like, "Oh, the skipper is much bigger than that." Don't worry. There's always room of improving as we're going along. You know, it was actually funny. Um, we had like a marketing team on site back in November where we went up to flew out to Berkeley, California, and I remember the founder of the company that I work for. He was really interested in the NFT project, and he was seeing some of like the early creations and things like that. And he kept joking the entire time. He was like, "Rocky's going to be an NFT millionaire, this time next year." And he actually asked me from everybody, once you become an NFT millionaire, are you going to stop working here? And I was honest with him. I told him I honestly don't see why I would stop. It would mean that I wouldn't have to work nearly as hard in, my free time or doing freelance work, at least. And so it would allow me to, pay off all of our debt, allow me to, invest, allow me to do a lot of things, help my family and things like that. So it's a lot of cool stuff that I can do. Yeah, man. Thanks for asking answering all my questions. Are you going to release Mutant Island on Soul? By the way, yes. Mutant Island is going to be exclusively on Soul, and one of the main reasons for that is because of the fact that Soul is a lot better for the environment. And part of the backstory, some of you know this already, those of you who have been watching the streams, one major factor for this project is actually the environment. So it wouldn't make sense to mint a project on Ethereum with it being, very bad for the environment, especially when one of the main focuses of your storyline is the environment itself or the planet itself. So yeah, we're definitely going to be doing Solana exclusively. All right, we're finishing up the arms here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, and not only that, and I've said this multiple times, so I do apologize for those of you who heard this often. I like the fact that Solana is so much better for you guys. It's so much cheaper to mint things and transactions and things like that than using something like Ethereum, where you have these giant gas prices, which make no sense to me. All right, so we've got this. So let's actually clear out the sketch. There's another sketch down here too. And so there he is. There is the bare bones of the skipper. And so I'm just looking at it right now. I'm kind of like gauging, okay, where do I need to thicken up the lines? Where do I need to possibly thin out the lines? Everything looks good thinning wise, or yeah, with the how thick everything is. But we do need, or I keep messing up my words today, but I need to thicken up some of the lines. So like on the arms here, they seem a little too thin. Let's see. Looking forward to being a part of the community. Thank you so much, Jeps. Let's see. Watched your tutorial on creating vehicles in Illustrator and made one myself. Now there's one question. Did you find your old truck already? I did not. I did not. I honestly, and it's funny because me and my wife we talked about if we're gonna allow ourselves one splurge once the project is launched. Once like the project has launched and everything like that, after we've paid off all of our debt, we're allowing each other one splurge. And my splurge would actually to go out and find a 1979 Ford F-150 that is whether it's fixed up or I have to fix it up myself, but finding that truck again and working on it and doing all that fun stuff like on the weekend. So I'm looking forward to for that. Ethereum needs to figure out the gas fees because you end up paying more in fees than the actual NFT you are minting. 100%. 100%. And honestly, that's the reason why the fact that I don't want to mint anything on Ethereum. I was originally going to do that. I've never minted any NFTs myself. I've never created any NFT artwork. This is the first, what you guys are witnessing and everything. And I almost did it for on was OpenSeas or no on Foundation last year to make some extra money for when we were looking to buy a house. I'm glad I didn't because I just feel like Ethereum, and I have my own history with Ethereum. I just feel like it's not good. Oh, sorry about that. My dogs are barking in the background a little bit. Loving to dip in Soul too. Yes, I know. I feel like it's definitely helped out a lot with people to be able to finally like buy more and to get their war chest set up so that they can actually purchase NFTs from these projects. My kid says that looks really good. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, so let's get this fixed. I always like to do this because if you don't take a look at the line work and everything, things can mess up a bit. So like for instance, right now shirt looks good, it works, but the hat, that's where I have a little bit of an issue. So I'm gonna jump back into the layer with the hat, and I'm just gonna create a second layer or a new layer and just go over undo. Whoop. It's these curves. Sometimes these curves are really tricky. I just felt like the top of this hat was a little too thin. There we go. That feels better. And it's okay that the actual bill of the hat is thin. That doesn't bother me at all. And the boils too, those can be thin. That's no problem. All right, awesome. All right, so we got him all the line work done for him. Let's see if we can't do. Let's see if we can't go through and do the fill real quick. We're at the 139 mark, so we've got about 21 minutes. I'd like to actually stop a little bit before 2 o'clock because I have a meeting directly after the live stream. So let's see. Let's go in and let's start doing the fill on these. And so first thing that I usually do is I always do the skin first. We're just going to choose a random gray color. And this is where it's basically like when you were a kid coloring a coloring book. You're just going through and just going around the edges. The only difference is that you can use the paint bucket tool, and it'll fill that up perfectly. Let's see. We'll do these like little hair thingies, slightly darker. And if you notice that you can see some of the edges here going into the bill, no problem. Let's see, might have a car guy for you too here in New York that can help you find your 79 Ford. I see 79 Ford F-150s all the time out here. Right now, even with the old truck market, it's so inflated. When we got my 1979 Ford F-150 in 2009, when I graduated high school, um, we bought it for $800. I bought it. I had $400 from graduation money, and my mom put $400 of her own money into it. And it honestly, it it just needed a little about a month's worth of work at my uncle's, and then it was ready to go. Now you see those same exact trucks, and they're running huge amounts of money, like $3,000, $4,000 for a truck that needs some serious work. And so the skipper's hat is completely dark. The only part of it that's not is the little emblem on it. And we'll fix that in a second. There we go. Let's actually jump in here real quick. We're going to duplicate it. Hide that one, and we're going to merge this one. Whoops. There we go. Now, since we have to do these arms real quick. Doing the fill is usually doesn't take too much time. It's the actual colorizing process, like taking it and figuring out the colors for the character or the mutant. That's what usually takes quite a bit longer. Because you want to make sure that everything works, that there's good synergy there. And then also, you can't always see it from when you do it on the iPad, but when you bring it into Illustrator to do the color, and this is one of the reasons why I like to do it in Illustrator, is that's where you find all of the little mistakes, especially for the fill process. There's always some mistakes that you missed, like where things didn't go all the way to the edge or things of that nature. And then also, let's go ahead and add, this is what I call underbelly. And this is something that all of the mutants have. Let's see. Sam Jacobs, loving this so far. Will you ever show the process of taking these from Fresco into Illustrator to do the color? I think that we can definitely do that in one of the future streams. I think it would be good just so you guys can see, especially with one of these one-on-ones, where you guys get to see how that process goes. I do have have some videos though that actually already go into that process on my YouTube channel. It's not the same with it's not the mutants themselves, but it is similar techniques. Perfect. All right, and then let's go and grab the same color. I'm like making sure I'm like looking at the time, trying to make sure I give myself ample time to share with you guys the new mutant for the stream. Gonna just add in a couple little like freckles here and there, little spots. And we'll change those black spots there eventually. And let's fill in the mouth. No, my wife is not an artist. She wishes that she was sometimes, but she says that I am enough artist for the two of us. It's funny because in my family, every generation has someone who's artistic, and for me, I was the one in my generation that was artistic, but also made that into a career. No one else in my family ever made being an artist into a career, so I was the first there. I don't know about red eyes. It depends on. I'm just gonna do white for now. Um, but it really what it depends on. It depends on what color that we make him. So, for the most part, if the character is green, then he'll have red eyes. Or if he's a dark character, he'll have red eyes. Those are the only two characters that are going to have red eyes. The other ones have different eye colors or different pupil colors depending on the skin tone. All right. And the only thing that we would have to do left on him right now is to add in shading or any type of stuff like that. We're not going to do that during the stream because I do not have the time, unfortunately, to go through and do the shading on this one. We got 13 minutes left. And I want to open everything up to any additional questions you guys might have, as well as sharing the new mutant for today's stream, as well as the code word or the keyword for the island cruise list. And again, for those of you who this is your first time being on the stream, the island cruise list is our whitelist. Basically, the way it works in NFT space is you have a whitelist. People on your whitelist will have the ability to mint before everybody else. So there is a lot of incentive to be on that list. And it also, there'll be other possible incentives in the future as well. Jimmy D. Rock, thank you so much for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. All right, so this was our first one of one. I keep wanting to say one-on-one. Our first one of one mutant character here. It is the skipper from Gilligan's Island, and I will be finishing this up in the near future on my own time and sharing with all of you guys closer to minting. But yeah, I'm happy to have done this, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. Now let's jump in to the new mutant for today, and that is this guy. We have our first dark mutant. As you guys know, that there are, or as you guys have probably heard for the most part, there are, is it six? Yeah, there's six different color types for the mutants. And the dark mutant is extra special and a lot more rarer than the actual colored mutants. So the dark mutant follows, in fact, I actually need to fix this because his trident is supposed to be upside down. Yeah, so that's also something else that you're going to see on some of these that have any types of trident symbols, is that they're actually supposed to be upside down. In fact, let me actually go ahead and see if I can't fix this right now. Let's see, zoom in. There we go. And just turn that upside down, move it over a little bit. And there's a whole reason for that, and I think we'll try to include that reasoning in the actual white papers as well. So to give you guys an idea, for those of you who are new to the stream, haven't been on one, these are the mutants so far that you guys have that we have shared, and you guys have seen both on streams as well as when we first launched the project. Here they are in their entirety, all of the mutants so far. And we'll actually zoom out here so you guys can also see Dr. Mutant himself with some of the mutants. So it's a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this, and I hope you guys are too, especially seeing all of these. Upside down trident is an M. You know, actually, that actually fits into a bit of the storyline. Yeah, it actually does. So thanks for actually pointing that out. Who was it? Chupacabra. So fresh. Thank you so much. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to try and share a new mutant every single one of these streams. We might not do them nearly as much when we're doing the one-of-ones. I actually said it right that time. I'm proud of myself. We might not do them nearly as much as we're doing one-of-ones because of the fact that you guys are already seeing us creating a fresh mutant. And so it doesn't make sense to share multiple mutants in one stream. Hopefully that's okay with you all. I'm also going to try this week or over the weekend to work on a more fleshed out version of Mutant Island. Let me jump in and show you guys. For those of you who didn't see the stream last week on Friday, I actually shared this sketch. Let me jump back over to the iPad setup. This is the initial sketch for Mutant Island. I'm going to be going through and doing a little bit more detailed illustration for this, as well as doing cross sections and focusing in on specific elements that you'll see on the actual island itself. So there's a lot of fun stuff happening there as well. Let's see, red fire eyes on top. Yeah, that was going to be one of the cover illustrations. It didn't quite work out how I was hoping it to, but there are red fire eyes that are available with both dark and green mutants. Okay. Let's see. Your kids. Okay, your kids figured that out. That's really cool. All right. So yeah. So I'm just going to open things up. We're going to wait until the last couple minutes before we end the stream. But does anyone have any questions or anything like that you'd like to ask before we end the stream, before we share the secret code phrase for the Island Cruise List? Please feel free to ask in the chat. Guys, did he share the secret word? No, I have not yet. Don't worry. It is coming. It is coming. Casey says, awesome. Thank you so much, Casey, for tuning in. Talking so much dries out your throat, so you definitely have to keep hydrated, at least in some fashion. All right. So no questions coming in just yet. So what I think I'll do, and I'll ask someone in the chat to please type this out so that everyone can will know it, or they can use it if they haven't already joined the Island Cruise List. I had a couple people who tried to join a second time. You can't do that. It's one time only. One ticket per guest. So don't try and do it a second time, but please share this phrase in the chat so that everyone knows it, everyone can see it, and everyone can share it. When you get the phrase here for the Island Cruise, go ahead and go to Twitter and send me a DM with the phrase. And the cutoff for this will be, we'll go a full 30 minutes. So we'll say the cutoff will be 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So in about 36 minutes. So the phrase for the Island Cruise List is, and you'll get a laugh out of this one, 3-hour tour, right? Keyword is 3, number 3, 3-hour tour. The phrase from Gilligan's Island. You know, on a three was it three was it 3 hour? It was 3 hour tour. So yeah, so the phrase is 3-hour tour. That is the phrase for the island cruise list for our whitelist. And so let's see, when do you think the whitelist will be ready? Well, the whitelist is ever growing. I don't know if we'll actually share out the whitelist. Once we get the Discord set up, then we will go through and and highlight people who are on the island cruise list. Let's see, DM Mutant account. Yeah, so what you do is you send the DM to Mutant Island. DM it to Mutant Island. Don't just share it, on the on Twitter in general. Just send me a DM on there. I'll go through after my meeting, after the live stream, and I'll add all of those who came in before 2:30 Eastern time with the code phrase. And again, once again, the code phrase for the island cruise list is 3-hour tour. All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Chupacabra, for sharing it. Thank you, Jimmy Rock. Thank you guys so much for sharing it. Have you decided this on the size of the collection? Oh, hold on one second. Woo. Sorry. All of a sudden, my allergies started acting up halfway through the stream. Have we decided the size of the collection? The only thing that I'll share right now is it's going to be between 5,000 and 10,000 mutants total. We haven't decided how many one-of-one mutants there's going to be because of the fact that I am the only one doing the one-of-ones. So if we tried to do a large number of them, I don't know if I would have the time to do it if we tried to do a huge number, and it would probably be summertime before we could even mint these if that was the case. But we are going to be doing a number of them, and some might use some of the pre-made elements to save some time. But I'm excited for it, and I hope you guys are too. Let's see, Eric Heroic, when do you think the whitelist will be ready? Said that already. The whitelist is something that's evergreen and continuously growing. Those of you who are on the whitelist, who are on the island cruise list, you will be able to mint maybe a few hours or so, or even a day before everybody else. Just like with the Dronies launch. We won't be sharing. I don't think we're going to be sharing out the island cruise list openly. I still have to talk to Peter about that and see like how the normal process is with the whitelist. But we will have people when we have the Discord. We will have a section set up specifically for those of you who are on the island cruise list, which is our whitelist. So hopefully that answers your question, Iskander. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and end the stream now. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch the full stream, don't worry, you can. It will be up and ready to take a look at. Once again, final call here. The key phrase for today's whitelist island cruise list edition is 3-hour tour. All right, that's the key phrase. That's it. And then at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, that's the cutoff. Anyone that comes in after that, you'll have to wait till the next stream to get the keyword. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Always remember to stay passionate, stay positive, and stay creative. And I'm really excited about this. I hope you guys are too. Maybe tonight we might do a Twitter space, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But until then, hope you guys have a great day. Do something awesome. Stay positive, especially with everything going on in crypto. And that's it for me. All right. Thanks, guys.